Welcome back to the Real Estate and Home Improvement Show here on CentralValleyTalk.com. We have been trying to figure out this crazy market. Is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to sell? I don't know. It's the craziest time in seems the history of our economy is this and that and the other. So we've asked an expert to come in who's been at this for a long time and knows a lot about it, the real estate market. Ken Neufeld. Welcome, Ken.
Thank you, Mike.
Now, you're at London Properties.
I am.
Can I ask how long you've been doing this?
I've been doing this for 44 years.
44 years.
Yeah.
All in Fresno?
All in Fresno, yes.
Yeah, so you know the Fresno market.
I would say so. I've grown up with it.
Okay. We're going to ask you to help us figure that out in a minute. Before we do that, you actually have a house for sale, which not a lot of realtors can say right now.
That's true. There's a shortage of homes for sale, and I've been blessed with clients that need to sell.
Okay. And by the way, you've been at it this long. Do people come back to you again and again and again?
I've had several cases of multi-generations.
Multi-generational
Yes,
even, yeah.
right.
Amazing. Tell us about this house that's for sale. By the way, housing prices are the highest I've ever seen them in Fresno, but this one seems kind of below the margin there.
Well, we have a very affordable home here. By the way, this is a young couple bought this with my help about 10 years ago when they were newly married, and now their family has grown and they're going to be buying a new home, new construction actually, and so they called me to have me help them sell this home, which is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, Wathen-built home. And Wathen, by the way, for your old-timers, will know that Wathen is a very well-reputed builder.
Yeah.
And the neighborhoods where Wathen built, even though they're 40 and 50 years old, they're still well-kept neighborhoods, as you can see from this home here, located near Millbrook and Gettysburg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, here's, I think, some inside pictures. Maybe kitchen.
Now, the kitchen has not been updated. It's still original condition.
What I love the tile. It's that old, like, 50s or 60s tile.
Right, with a nice green border around the edges.
And this picture I picked because I get excited when I see an indoor laundry.
Well, and for this age of home, an indoor laundry is less of occurs less frequently. So this one does have an indoor laundry, and you'll see in the door right behind it there is the second bath. Now, when they first started adding the second bath, it was not a master suite or a primary suite, as we are now calling it. There was no primary suite. There was 3 bedrooms and a bathroom on one side of the house, and then a second bathroom next to the laundry room, or very often near the back door, sort of like the mud room. So this is the case here. The second bathroom is right next to the laundry room.
This is a very nice backyard. Somebody did a lot of work here.
Yes, they've kept it very nicely. It also has a storage shed way back there in the corner that you can probably see.
Yeah. And what struck me is the floors all through this house.
Very nice flooring. Hardwood floors here. In the 2 living rooms, there's a living room and a family room there. You see the fireplace in the.
This one really shows off the floors, how shiny they are.
Oh yes.
A little aerial view. I can't see Ken Neufeld getting up that high to take that picture.
No, we actually had a professional photographer who did this, and basically I do this for my listings. I hire a photographer, and very often the seller say, "Well, how much is that going to cost me?" Well, it's going to be included in what we charge you for selling the home.
They get the special Neufeld treatment, but no extra charge for that.
No.
Here is another look at the kitchen, again with that green tile.
That's the kitchen from the eating area.
And here's that little eating area. And finally, I have one more. Oh, that's another one in the front yard, I guess. Now, can you tell us the price?
Oh yes, minor detail, right?
Yeah.
This is listed for $365,000. There's another home half a block away listed for $359,000, which is, we feel this one is better.
Yeah.
Of course, we always feel ours is better. But this is a very affordable price range at $365,000. There are a lot of homes that are even in this neighborhood, that are selling for more than that.
Yeah. A lot of times on this show we don't say the price. We say, call us, we'll tell you the price. The reason I asked you is, this is a very affordable house. You don't, seems like in Fresno they're 500, 600, 700,000 now.
Well, the prices are really going up, yes. And so it is a problem for the first-time home buyer. Unfortunately, our affordability in Fresno has declined in the last, even since COVID. In 2020, the average homeowner or the first-time buyer could afford, 52% of them could afford to buy a home of a median price. I'm sorry, and today it's down to 30%.
Wow, that's quite a striking difference.
And part of the problem also is that our homes have gotten bigger. So when you have a bigger home, it costs more money.
Yeah.
And so back in the 1940, 70% of the homes were 1,400 square feet or less. Today, only 8% of our homes are 1,400 square feet or less. And so maybe in order to help our affordability, we need to build a little smaller and be a little more compact so that we can enjoy home ownership.
I'll tell you, I have a 3,000 square foot home here, and I calculate I use 500 square feet. That's all I use. And I've got all this just unused area. So.
Right. So sometimes we have to focus on quality, I think, maybe more than quantity.
Right. Tell us about people. They're young, are married, they've got their good, decent job, they're out of college. The younger people, what's the prospect for them buying?
I think the kind of people you're describing, their prospects are good, especially if you're a two-income family, a two-income household, I should say. They're going to be in six-digit salaries, so they should be able to afford the median-priced home. But if you're down in $69,000 as your household income, now you're looking at all you can afford is something like $270,000, and there's not many homes for $270,000 available even.
Right. Are there programs for these first-time home buyers?
There are some down payment assistance programs where you can overlay a down payment assistance on top of a regular FHA or conventional loan. Yes.
So those exist out there.
Yes.
They got to call someone who knows how to find those.
Well, we've got to find them. Yes.
Yeah, and you know how to find them.
I think so.
Yeah. Now, these people who are making $69,000, is there hope for them?
Well, unfortunately, they're going to be renters.
They're going to be renters for a while.
And this is one of the problems in California. We're becoming a renter nation.
Yeah.
And as you've probably heard, the cost of rentals have skyrocketed as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know people paying $3,000, $4,000 a month to rent a house.
Yes.
What about those renters that pay $3,000 or $4,000? Should they be buying or looking at buying?
If they're paying $3,000 or $4,000 for a month for rent, and if they are going to likely remain put, not be moving in the next year or so, they really should be looking at buying, because they could, for that kind of money, they could buy.
Yeah. Now, I always tell people, go talk to a realtor, go talk to Ken Neufeld. Even if you don't know if you could buy, you don't know if you qualify, you don't know if you're ready for it, talk to Ken. It's free to talk to you, right?
As far as I know.
Yeah, and sometimes you may tell somebody, okay, you got to wait a year,
right,
or you need to save up this much, but you can get them on the track toward purchase.
Certainly, and we will also, first thing we want to do with them would be connecting them with a reputable lender, and the lender can very often help them if they need to clean up their credit, for example, or they need to do a little bit more saving. They can be coached to prepare for home ownership, whether it's today, 3 months from now, or 6 months from now.
Yeah, they could pretty quickly clean up some of that stuff, I think. Yeah, so it's not like you got to wait 10 years or 7 years for something to fall off your credit report.
Exactly.
A lot of the stuff can get cleaned up. And sometimes it's just a matter of they have too much credit card, or they're buying new cars or something
they need
like
to maybe pay off some credit cards. And there again, I always advise people, don't just willy-nilly go to pay off your credit cards. Before you do that, you talk to the lender who's going to help you get your mortgage. Because there may be a priority in which you should pay off and which you should not pay off.
Right. What else you got for us, Ken? Any advice for people who want to sell their home, people who want to buy a home?
Well, right now the situation is unfortunately, it's a little tough for buyers, because buyers are always competing for a limited number of listings. And so, for example, over the weekend, I wrote an offer on a property just off of the Old Fig area. Actually, a very well priced property, around $400,000, if you can imagine.
Wow, nice.
And only to find out by the time we had the seller look at the offers, there was 4 buyers that were competing.
Competing for those, yeah.
And the buyer that I was working with offered considerably over asking, and is hopeful even today that they will be the lucky winners.
But they might not, even over asking, yeah.
They may not be the ones.
Now, so you're saying, it sounds like you're saying it's a good time for people if they're thinking of selling. This is a good time.
Well, yes. So if you're thinking of selling, it is a very good time. But some sellers are holding back. The problem is, if you're a seller who's sitting there with a 3% mortgage on your home and you don't need to move, you're not going to move.
Right.
And that's one of the things that is contributing to the housing shortage right now. Now, the people who are selling that we're seeing people who are moving into retirement homes or other kinds of medical facilities, and we're seeing landlords who are tired of being landlords.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 main kinds of sellers that are out there today.
Yeah, why would you, 3%, my mortgage share is 2%. To me, I call that free money.
That's right.
Why would you give that up?
But every once in a while there are exceptions, like the young couple that's selling the home here on Donner today. They are moving up into a nice brand new home. And improving themselves.
Getting to the next step. By the way, I have your web address, kenneufeld.com. What do people find there?
If you go there, you can probably search the entire inventory of homes available in the Central Valley.
And not just the ones you have for sale, but by any realtor.
Right, by any realtor in any of the Central Valley counties. In fact, we have homes there in Tulare County and Merced County.
The whole valley,
because our company does have business and offices in all those places.
Yeah, okay, nice. Now, by the way, I put a phone number up there. I hope that's correct. 559-270-4056.
That's it, yes.
And they could text?
They can text me or call me, sure.
Yeah. I just have become so into this texting thing. Just, hey, I'm going to call you in an hour and ask you about this and this. Do you have time? And it just kind of cleans up the back and forth.
It does smooth up the communication, yes.
Do you see some big changes coming up pretty soon in real estate? There's some new laws and ways of listing properties?
Well, don't get me started on that. But in summary, there's a change as to how people are going to be paying for their real estate services.
Yep.
And the move is actually probably detrimental for buyers because buyers are now, effective August 17th, will be responsible for raising the money to pay their broker. And most buyers, especially first-time home buyers, they barely have enough money to do the down payment.
Yeah, so maybe, I guess we don't know yet, maybe that'll be worked into the mortgage.
So we're looking at possibly, there are different ways that could be accomplished. But again, the buyer could ask the seller to help them with some of those costs, and the seller could agree or not agree. And unfortunately for the buyer, it does put the buyer in a less competitive situation now. So there's a lot of things that are not the way they used to be.
Right. Hopefully it'll be transparent. Buyers and sellers won't know the difference. We usually only buy 1 or 2 houses in our whole lives, so hopefully it won't upset things too much.
Well, we hope not.
Our guest is an expert in real estate, Ken Neufeld. By the way, you can call Ken with any question. You're thinking of buying, thinking of selling, don't know if you're ready to buy or sell. It's free to call Ken. I've called him a couple times myself for advice. Thank you, Ken. Any last thoughts?
Just good advice there, Mike. If you have any questions, whether it pertains to real estate, I get people even calling me about, do you know a handyman who can help me fix my faucet or something?
You probably do.
And I probably do.
Yeah, I do. We'll be back with more real estate and home improvement. Here's another look at the house Ken has listed. How do you see this house? Just call you up?
Just call me up, yes, and we'll make an appointment, and it's easy to show.
All right. We'll be back with more right after this.